everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host, Majestic, speaking with another episode of Mech Warrior Online here. And today we're playing with the Splatbringer. Yes, it's the only current configuration possible in the game using all of the Hellbringer's missile hardpoints between all the omnipods on all the variants. And all we can muster up here are 3 missile hardpoints, which we use for SRM-6s, along with some direct pinpoint damage of 4 small pulse lasers. So as you can imagine, we're doing a mix of both splat and pinpoint damage. We are on Viridian Bog here, and right in front of us we have this top dog. Looks like he might be out of position entirely. Yes, he knew we were coming down for him. Cord, left and right torso, and one more splat to that center torso, and he goes down immediately. So a very, very quick kill. 1 zip very, very early on in this match. And that guy was very, very out of position. So a very big win for our team here on the flank in Delta 5. Now, we're not going to push too aggressively just yet. We got a lot of damage and that kill on the first guy, but we need to wait for some reinforcements before we decide to push around the corner. Now, we do have a Marauder 2C and a Night Gear next to us, so that actually might be enough of a reason to maybe push a little bit more forward. I do see a couple of opponents that are down and on top of that plateau on the far side, but right in front of us we have this Supernova that is down on the ground, and he might be by himself as well. Our Marauder 2C looks like he's going to go in and try and take him out, so we're going to give him some support, maybe get behind him, yeah, because he's not going to make it away from us when we're going 87 kph, and he just doesn't have the same speed. So now we're putting in some amplification damage. Cord, center, torso. We're going for both shots. The back, he's backing up right into us. Cord, center, torso. We get the kill on the Supernova as well. So it's 2-1. We took out a heavy and an assault at this point. 12 minutes still on the timer, and right now I'm going to ask my team for some help. We're going to push right up on top of this plateau. It is 3-1 now before we make this initial push, and right in front of us I know there's an assault there, but I don't know if there's anything else, so I do have to keep my eyes peeled. And right in front of us we have this Supernova Hotel, and we're just going to make him turn around really quick. We cord out his back and we're going for the front side now. He is distracted by our linebacker friend and jumping off the plateau right in front of us. He's going right into a trap where the rest of my team is waiting, and I'm gonna do a no shot with the lasers, and somehow we landed the kill shot on him. I didn't even know where he was. I only used my arm-mounted lasers and somehow was able to land that kill. But now we have to switch directions here. It's 4-2. We have a couple bogeys right here in front of us. This Mad Dog who's going down the ramp, and this Kodiak whose back is also getting torn up, and we went for the kill shot and he goes down as well. So now we're gonna hop down and go for this Mad Dog. His Mad Dog's back is turned. One more salvo should maybe take him out, and yes, there he goes. Turning around, we have an urban mech right in front of us. I'm sorry, little buddy. I'm gonna have to take you out. I know that you're trying to get as much damage as you can on us. One more splat to that center torso, and he goes down too. I don't even know how many kills we have at this point, but this Orion is coming around the corner, probably gonna focus us. Go for that center torso, and another kill. Are you kidding me? I seriously have no idea how many kills we just got, but we just stacked on top of each other. And including this Atlas, he was hiding. I knew I saw something. I think that was a Lerm Atlas, and that is going to do it for the round. Look at the stacks on stacks of those kill shots there, ending the round before we even hit the 10-minute mark. This is absolutely insane. Checking out the stats for the round, 8 kills, 3 times doing the most damage, 926 damage with 10 components destroyed. Holy cow, did that escalate extremely quickly. We took out 2/3 of their team in one round under 5 minutes. Oh my goodness, we might be onto something here, ladies and gentlemen. Very heat efficient, attack, brawler, sneaky, really knows how to get into position very quickly, very efficiently. It provides us with constant DPS without overheating. But before we jump to any conclusions here, let's hop back into the mech lab and go through the rest of the details of this mech and the build. Alrighty guys, welcome back to the mech lab. We're gonna go through the details of the build on this guy I have in front of me. the Hellbringer Prime, or current Splatbringer. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through everything. We're going to go through the hardpoints, the omnipods, the placement of everything. You already know what I have on this mech from the first round. But we're going to go through the rationale and exactly how this build came to be, because really I was just messing around with it. And with the anticipation of the Hellbringer clan hero coming into the game, I wanted to see what the current omnipods offered if we were to use every missile hardpoint to our advantage. So that's exactly what it was here. It's more of a trial or test than anything. But even that first round has got me pretty impressed. So I'm very curious to see how this can be outfitted once the hero actually is in the game. We can use those omnipods that the hero has, and see how much better of a Splatbringer we can make out of it. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the details of the build. First, in the overview, we're not really going to focus too much on this overview because this is a Frankenstein mech, and what I mean by that is I did have to switch out a lot of omnipods in order to get every missile hardpoint on this mech. So, you're not going to see a standard list of hardpoints and quirks and everything like that. In fact, this mech doesn't even have quirks. So we're not even going to really go through that. What we're going to go through, though, is the details of the actual build itself. So as you can see, we're using the Hellbringer Prime chassis, but we have the A variant left arm, A variant left torso, A variant head, and then the B variant right torso. And then we left the Prime right arm on there. So if we open up every single one of these, you'll see exactly why this mech is the way that it is. So what happens here is, so on the left arm, with the only variant that has more than one energy hardpoint, because again, if we're using as much firepower as we can on this mech, trying to use as much DPS and all around kind of full and complete dynamics of a build here, you have to incorporate everything that you possibly can. The A variant left arm has the 2 energy hardpoints, whereas the rest either have 1 energy hardpoint, 1 ballistic hardpoint, or a mix. So I decided I'm going to stick with energy and splat. Then with the left torso, we only have 1 variant that offers a missile hardpoint, and that's the A variant. So the A variant gives us that missile hardpoint here, which means, unfortunately, that the standard or stock omnipod, the Prime left torso, with the 3 energy and the 1 ECM hardpoint, we cannot use that because we want to utilize every single missile hardpoint that any of the omnipods give us. So again, this is more experimental than anything. So I just wanted to see how it performs when we take advantage of every missile hardpoint that this mech has to offer between all of the different variants. So I know a lot of you are saying like, oh, how could you not use the Prime with the ECM and everything like that? Again, the A variant is the only one with a missile hardpoint. Otherwise, if the Prime had a missile hardpoint, I'd have kept that in there and probably integrated some ECM on there. But as I said, the A variant has the missile hardpoint, so that's what we went with, and we placed that SRM-6 in there. The B variant only has is the only one that has missile hardpoints in the right torso. The A variant and the Prime variant only have 1 missile hardpoint in the right torso. So I again wanted to load up on as many missile hardpoints as we possibly can. And that's what the B variant offers to us, is 2 missile hardpoints. So 1 is high mounted above the right torso and 1 is low mounted below the right torso, below the cockpit. So that is something that we do have to take into consideration. It's kind of lopsided, but you kind of just have to try and make it work. That's really what I was trying to do here. So with that being said, the last part on this mech is that right arm. And the right arm, you either get your choice of ballistics with the A or B variant, which offer 1 ballistic hardpoint, or the Prime variant, which, as we had stock on this mech, is the only one with an energy hardpoint in there. So I decided to stick with this one for now, not taking into consideration, loyalty variants or anything like that. The ones that are offered in the game, the ones that you guys can pick up right now in the store if you were to purchase this mech for yourself. So I did want to keep it, I guess, stock as much as I possibly could with integration of every single omnipod to benefit this mech entirely. Now, the A variant is the only one also that has an energy hardpoint in the head. The rest of them have nothing unless you want AMS, which the Prime offers, and you can put the AMS in the head. Obviously, I'm probably going to go with the energy hardpoint. Look at the placement on that, right above the cockpit, so you know if you could see it, you could shoot it. And in case we do get our arms blown off or anything like that, or our weapons get crit, that head-mounted laser, you just never know, fellas. You never know. It might just either save your life or win you the game. You never know. So that's exactly what I decided to do with it. 65 out of 65 tons, 60 out of 78 slots, 416 out of 422 armor. We only took 6 armor hardpoints out of the head. It has 20 double heat sinks, 10 in the engine, 3 on top of the engine, and then I placed 7 more between both torsos. So it has a 1.44 heat management ratio, which is very, very heat efficient, cools down very nicely as you saw, and hopefully we'll see in the next game. 60-point alpha. So between all of this stuff firing off at close range, 60 points is pretty hefty for a heavy mech, especially with this kind of heat efficiency. 87.1 kph with speed tweak. This is a mastered mech, so it does have all the quirks and bonuses and everything. This is probably going to be one of the last videos before the new skill tree, which is intended to release later this month, comes out. So, you know, other than that, we're going to have to be placing on these kind of quirks and, I guess, additions or bonuses to our mechs manually. But for how it stands right now, 87.1 kph, and it does come stock with an XL 325 engine. So a pretty sizable engine. 87 kph in a heavy is pretty decent, especially with this kind of firepower and this kind of heat efficiency. So, as you saw in the first round, it is a pretty solid build. You're not integrating the ECM, but that doesn't mean that you can't, you know, really make this thing have a serious punch, get into a great position, and just unleash hell on your opponents consistently, sustainably. So that's really what the goal is here. As for the modules, really quick before we dive into our next match, advanced seismic sensor and radar deprivation. We don't have ECM, so radar deprivation is pretty critical, especially at short range if we do decide to dip into cover. Advanced seismic sensor in case there's anything within 250 meters of range within us. You know, we want to make sure that we are able to spot them so that we can get a jump on them and get all of our weapon systems firing. As for the weapon modules, just the cooldown level 5 on both small pulse lasers and the SRM6s, which gives a 12% bonus. Consumables, cool shot 9x9, just to make this mech even more heat efficient than it already is, and just in case we do sustain a lot of shots or a lot of alphas, we can pop that cool shot and get right back to normal heat. And then improved artillery strike, again, whether it's for tactical purposes or intentional damage on grouped up enemies. That's the reason for that. So that's the overall reason for the build. That's how it came to be. I'm very curious to see how we do in the second match. And not only that, but I am also curious to see how this mech performs as a true Splatbringer once the hero variant makes its way into the game so that we can see the differences and see what's viable on this mech. But that's going to do it for now. Let's hop back into the queue and check out another round with what is currently the Splatbringer. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we go. Second round of gameplay is going to take place on Tourmaline Desert. Yes, a very, very heat-intensive map. We're playing Domination Game Mode, and where our team is grouping up right now is right on the beacon, and right in front of us, as you can see, there is a squadron of a couple lights and a medium. Both of those lights have ECM, so we do need to be careful there if we do decide to engage them. Not sure if they're baiting us just yet, or if they are baiting us, then yeah, we definitely need to be careful, or if they're just trying to get some scouting information, maybe even try and get a flank on us, dip in, dip out. But there was some autocannon fire coming from, I'm not even sure where that was coming from. Was that coming from the... No, it was coming from across the way on top of the ridge over there. So that just means that the enemy team is definitely split. That's going to make my team want to move in and take these guys out because we know we're not getting baited now. Going for the Centurion right in front of us, putting a couple salvos into that center torso, and he's going to do a great job of torso twisting here, spreading that damage out across a lot of his armor, but now I'm going for his back. He's going for our night gear, and our night gear is going for a Kit Fox, but finally we are able to land that kill shot and take out the Centurion. Now we can group up. A couple of us are here going towards the fortress. Now I'm only going to use laser fire on the Pirate's Bane simply because I don't want to try and maybe even waste ammo trying to shoot missiles at that Pirate's Bane. So we're going to turn around here, let that Pirate's Bane go, and we're going to focus now on the fortress itself. So we know that there are a couple mechs up there. Not sure how intense it's going to get, but we're going to try and make some moves on them and at least get a couple shots on them. That Cicada on our side is looking at these guys, going for this Night Gear right in front of us. He definitely has lerms in that right torso, but he is accompanied by that rifleman there, and they did happen to core up my right torso, so I do have to be a little bit careful there, at least until I get some reinforcements. But the Night Gear dropped down, so now we're going to help out this Marauder, try and take him out. Delta is right in front of us. He is distracted by our Marauder friend here. He has a cord center torso, so he's giving us his back for some reason, and my team is able to take this guy out from behind. So now we're getting this rifleman who's jumping down on us. He's definitely going to go for me, putting in those small lasers, trying to take out my right torso, which is cord. I can't see anything, so I'm firing blindly, and somehow we are able to land the kill shot. We did get some support from the rest of the team, so that was definitely pretty clutch. But I still, yeah, there is still one more mech still up here, and it's an enforcer. He actually turned left to go into Delta 6, so I'm going to meet him there. I know we have a medium that's over there right now, and he's doing circles right. Yeah, that's Cicada. So we're going to go for this enforcer. The enforcer only has 2 UAC 5s. They look like they were jammed for a second. Cord center torso, cord left torso. Going to put a couple salvos into him. We took out one of those UAC 5s. Now my team is able to finally wrap that guy up and get him down as well, and we are only at the 11-minute mark. So looking down on the mini-map, my team is forming up near the Valley of Death, and that's exactly where we're going to head right now to help clean up whoever is in the bowl, whoever's in the pit. We're going to make sure that they pay the consequences for taking that position and trying to hold up there. Now, they still may have some support on the ridge, but if we can clean up the guys in the bowl first and then focus on the guys that are on the ridge, we'll be in very, very good shape. Going for the Cyclops right in front of us, cord center torso. My friend is able to take him out, so that's another huge kill. Now I'm going to tell my team to help me. They do have a couple mechs on the ridge, it looks like, but we're going to go for this Night Gear, who's the only one in the pit at this point. He's not even turning around towards us. Cord center torso, and he gets taken out. So now, push is really coming to shove on these guys, and we probably only have a couple of mechs left to kill. Gonna peek around the side here, and yes, there are 2 assaults right in front of us, and I desperately need some help if I'm gonna take these guys out on my own. Now we're gonna be very, very quiet, hunting our Marauder to see. And putting in a salvo into that torso. Not sure he knew where that was coming from, but we are getting some amplification damage from the rest of the team. He didn't see us, so now we're going to be able to get a flank on him. He's turned, he has lerms. We're going for that right torso. It is cored up. Maybe a couple more shots. Yeah, there goes his right arm and his right torso. We're going to get him from behind now because he's not even focusing on us. Now he has a cord back torso. A couple more salvos should do it, and there he goes. Now, a quick change onto our new target, this King Crab in front of us. Very damaged, trying to get that kill shot in an alpha. That did cause us to overheat, but my team is able to swarm and finally get the kill on the King Crab, our final target, which ends the round. So a great round of gameplay, escalated very quickly. 9 minutes still left on the clock. Let's check out the stats here. Holy crap! 3 kills, 6 assists, 4 times doing the most damage, 10 components destroyed, 1,112 damage. Holy shit. And now, excuse my language, but seriously, I really did not expect that kind of damage score based on what we did, but we might be onto something here, guys. The Splatbringer is definitely on my radar now, especially once the hero variant drops. With the 2 missile hardpoints in the right arm, if you could focus up all the missile hardpoints on the right side, and then maybe put the energy in the left torso and the left arm, that might be one hell of a mech. It might lack a little bit of heat efficiency, but we're gonna have to see. I'm very, very curious now because both of those rounds were kind of crazy, and we didn't have ECM. You know, we didn't even use ECM. All we had was radar depth, and this mech, I'm just replaying everything now in my head, and it just seems like it's great with flanking, great splat damage, decent positioning, and they might be a little low for a couple of the energy and the missile hard points, but overall, I really, really enjoyed my time messing around with this mech. I had a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to keep this mech and, you know, once the hero drops, those omnipods in mind to make a monster. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to come up with yet, but that's going to do it for this video, at least for now. I had an absolute blast playing with what is currently the game's Splatbringer, but we're going to have to see how this pans out in the near future. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, check out the links in the description. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions below. Thank you all so much for all the support. Check out the Patreon and PayPal links in case you do want to support the channel a little bit more. I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have given to the channel so far. Thank you again for everything, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Take care, guys.